Hey y'all, Farm Plant Killer here, Jesse with Living on a Prayer Flower Farm. And in today's video, we will be planting 150 zinnias. We had a freeze last night. Not frost, freeze. Now, I was fully prepared for frost. Yep. Sunflower seedlings can take a light frost, I hear, and it's true, they can. And I was prepared to cover up my yarrow, my basil's not in the ground, my yarrow, my lemon balm, or bee balm, and verbena. I was prepared to cover those and get them through a light frost. Not a big deal. But a freeze? It got down to 31 last night. Can you believe that? So last night yesterday afternoon when I got home, I was scrambling because I only had enough frost cloth for the bee balm, verbena, and some of the sunflower seedlings, but not all of them. So I ended up getting a fitted sheet because you make do with what you got and covered up everything. And they all came through beautifully. Except the yarrow. Yarrow kind of looks a little, but that could be because it's just looking like that from being uncovered. I don't think the freeze got it. I think it just needs to perk up in the sun. So if you watched my farm update video from March, I said that these were dahlias. These aren't dahlias, these are lilies. I've got lilies. I don't remember buying lilies last year, but apparently I bought lilies last year and they have just doubled. I've got one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lilies coming up. And she said, don't pinch these either. So I definitely won't pinch them. Thank you for telling me that these are lilies. I wonder what they are, which ones they are. And I've got a strawberry plant coming up right here. This is where we had an old strawberry bush and it's just coming up. And I'm not sure what this is. I think it's just a weed. Urgh. Weeds everywhere. We've made it! It's Zinnia time! It's Easter Sunday. I've eaten some good food, a lot of chocolate, a lot of chocolate. And now it's time to get these zinnias in the ground. I've already got all my labels made up. This whole bed is about to be planted with zinnias. I'm so happy. Now I'm gonna plant these about a foot apart each, doing 2 to 3 seeds per spot. I'll thin them out later. But I don't want the plants closer than 1 foot due to mildew, problems I had last year, powdery mildew. Oh, it was awful. It's just because they didn't have enough airflow between the plants. Here in Louisiana, it's just too hot and humid to have all nice and spaced close like Florette Farm does. I've got to have space between these zinnia plants. So I'm going to aim to do them every 1 foot. Let's get started. Alright guys, so let's talk about all the different zinnias I planted out here because I planted a lot. I planted Zinnia Oklahoma Carmine from Florette Flowers, from Johnny Select Seeds, Venery's Giant White, Venery's Giant Salmon Rose, Venery's Giant Coral, Oklahoma Ivory OG, Senora Zinnia, Venery's Giant Wine, Giant Golden Yellow from Florette Farms, Mazzucaria. I have no idea how to pronounce this. I'll put it on the screen. Also from Florette Farms, Little Flower Girl Mix, Queen Lime with Blush, Queen Red Lime, Oklahoma White, Queen Lime Orange, Giant Purple, from Florette Flowers, Cinderella Lilac, Cinderella Peach from Florette Farms, and Cupcake Pink from Florette Farms, Oklahoma Formula Mix Improved from Johnny Select Seeds, Cactus Flowered Mix, Giant Double Flowered Lavender from Fairy Morse. Picked that up at my local Lowe's, along with So Easy Giant Double Violet Queen and Giant Double Flowered Canary Bird. Like I said, I picked those up from my local Lowe's. I also have from Florette Flowers, Oklahoma Salmon, from Johnny's, Venery's Giant Lime, Oklahoma Pink, giant orange, Benary's giant lime. Those are pretty much all the zinnias that I planted out here. I planted anywhere from 6 to 12 seeds, depending on which zinnia I really liked. And I am beside myself, guys, to see these zinnias in action. Do you hear me? I am the zinnia queen. I cannot wait to see this just grow. Zinnias are in. Now all I gotta do is water them in. But before I do that, let's finally put some basil in the ground. Then I'll water it all in. I like to plant these in the evening, right when the sun's going down. Oh, I can't see him. The reason being is the nighttime gives it time to adjust. That way it's not having just the morning sun to deal with and then the afternoon sun. It's got a little bit of the afternoon going into the night. Helps with the transplant shock, in my own humble beginner opinion. So let's get these in the ground. Where'd I put my shovel? I had it. What did I do with it? Oh, I found it. Oh, shovel! You know what? On second thought, I think I am going to go ahead and wet the ground. That way it's not going into dry dirt. So I'm going to go ahead and water in the zinnias and get this nice, good and moist so that they're not going directly into dry dirt and then having to water them. Let's do that first. Okay, now I know that drip tape, but the reason I'm going ahead and watering them in is because drip tape will be sufficient once they start growing and getting a good root system. But until that point, I really need to water the zinnias like that until they get a good established root system. Because once they're established, zinnias are so easy, they don't really need as much water as other plants. So germination, got to keep moist, so I'll be coming down here and doing that mess for a few weeks. But then, easy sailing. Let's get this basil on the ground. Well, it's done. All the zinnias and basil are planted. Hopefully we'll see some zinnia sprouts by the end of the week. It's a flood zone out there. So, I knew it was supposed to rain last night. Well, yesterday anyway. Knew it was supposed to rain. I thought it'd be a light rain. It was not a light rain, it was a downpour. Luckily I brought in all my plants that was hardening off inside. Thank God, because there would be no soil left in their containers if I hadn't. But yeah, it was a pond. Let's take a look at the damage. Verbena looks okay, poppies look okay. Dusty Miller is just really dirty. And so is the foxglove. Ugh. I mean, it just, you can see where the dirt just kind of overspilled into my row covers. The yarrow looks okay. Oh, my bells of Ireland. By the way, guys, look, they're getting so big. And I didn't plant these right here. I didn't plant those. Those came up when I transplanted some others because I had some soil that I used that had seedlings in it. They said it couldn't be done. I'm doing it. I've never gotten them get this big before. I mean, normally they put up the first true leaves and they just die. Doing it. Okay. Yeah, the two beds behind me, they were a pond. A pond. And guys, all those zinnias I planted, I hope they developed a little bit of roots, that they were the toughest roots ever and that they stayed where they're supposed to stay. I'm very doubtful. We'll probably see what sprouts up where and replant from there. I'd also planted sunflowers in this bed here, and those seeds are probably washed away now. But look at the ranunculus behind me. They're actually blooming. It looks like they enjoyed the rain. Uh-oh, ant bed. I thought this bed behind me is empty. It is not empty. I attempted to direct sow Parisian cress and some cosmos in there 2 days before the storm. They're probably gone. Oh, my croc's wet. I do see some seedlings, but I don't know if they're my zinnias or not. They're not big enough for me to tell yet. Oh, a label got washed away. Let's just hope that you go right here, Senora, and maybe that's you coming up. Let's see. Let's grab some dirt and let's cover you up. It was a pond out here. A pond. Once again, thought it'd be like a light rain. Not a light rain. It was a freaking downpour. On the bright side, I don't have to water this morning. This is why we always plant more than what we need, because you never know what's going to happen. It's Mother Nature. It's Louisiana weather. It's Canada weather. It's wherever you're at, the weather there is crazy, I'm sure. And that's what happened here. I tried to predict the weather. The weather laughed at me. Mother Nature said, ha ha ha, you plant those seeds. Cue monsoon-like rains and downpour that lasted like 20 minutes nonstop. Wonder how many inches we got. Gosh, it had to have been a lot. We got almost 1.5 inches. Almost 1.5 inches of rain last night within the span of 20 minutes. I really hope those zinnias come up. So I've gotten a lot of questions when I made a Facebook post about being the zinnia queen, because I love zinnias and I planted like 150 of them out here. But I get a lot of questions about, is it too early for my zone? And the answer is probably. I'm in zone 8B, North Louisiana, Ruston, Louisiana to be more exact. Whoop whoop, go Ruston, pet dogs. And I waited till right at our last frost almost to plant these. These like 60-degree weather and higher. Actually, the hotter, the better. So if you're still in the 40s at night, it's way too early to plant these. If you're colder, it's definitely too early to plant these. So just continue to wait. You'll be able to get them in the ground before you know it, and they grow super fast. So that's why I'm not too worried about the fact that the majority of them probably got washed away or in some weird spaces, because I can just plant some more. Not a big deal. They'll come up. We're in the rainy season. I mean, what can you do? Hope for the best and continue to plant. That's what you can do. All right, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.